Hi there. We got an excellent question about where to punch and where to hit so that the person would go down and that would be effective. We take things into the context of self-defense. We all also have to understand that taking a person down, it's quite simple and easy, but then there are, of course, the consequences. And of course, if your life is really in danger, you are reacting, you are defending, doing something that you have to get out of the situation, and there is no time to think. If you have time to think, if you have time to plan, it still might be feasible to use some of these things. But then let's face the facts that if you can walk away, just walk away. But hey, everybody in self-defense says this. But just as a disclaimer, if you think about how we get injured, and you start from the head, so thinking that, hey, you punch a person to the eye and you puncture the eye. Yes, it will probably cause not only pain, but physical injury. If you hit the person to the throat, neck is a different thing, but hit the person to the throat, and the windpipe here collapses. With the male population, if somebody punches us to the throat and the Adam's apple is broken, getting to the windpipe, yes, the person will die. One of the weakest points in human skull are the temples here. You can actually cause a lot of brain damage. And then when it goes to the ears, and that causes the problems in balance, and that is causing the injury. So if we are close and you are in a situation you have to attack, and you just slap the person to the ear, so close like this, their balance will be quite off, and that will give you time to get away. And then, of course, when you go under here to the chin, where the mental nerves are, that's where the knockouts happen. And then in the back of the head, of course, the back of the skull here is also very, very vulnerable. But then when we start coming down, liver punches, yes, effective, if you can do them with full force and so on. This area here doesn't require a lot of skill. It doesn't require a lot of power. Liver, spleen, solar plexus here are all very good targets for the punches. But if your life is in danger, focus here to cause damage and injury over here. And then, of course, we go into breaking the bones, thinking of you get sport injury to your knee, or you get kicked to the groin very hard, and there's a lot of nerves here, and you might cause a lot of bleeding. Yes, it will create pain, but it is not something that, this will always work. If the nerves are numbed, let's say that the medication is just right, the thing is that this is not injury. It's more pain-related, it's more nerve-related stuff than injury. Same as with, locking and everything like this. But, if you can, if you break the knee, you stump the knee, you make the leg do this motion or this motion where it doesn't go nicely more than once, we are right in the target. What she does now is just to demonstrate the neck. So she keeps her hand like this, and I am now pressing a bit like this. Now what I want you to do is just to punch me to the neck. That's the effect. So now, if she puts her finger like this, and she presses me to the eye, this is what happens. If she hits me to the head, to here, if she hits me to the temple here, and especially if she closes the fist and uses like a thumb knuckle, this one here, a joint, to actually hit me to the head here. Just knock me a bit. That's the effect. The thing is that, yes, when your life is really in danger and you really need to take the person out, majority of the targets are here. If you cannot reach anywhere here, go for the knees if you can. I am here choking her. She tries to get me to my eyes, and I'm like, no. Now she needs to make a room, so she does that. Now she has access to my temple. She can do this. Now she has access to my neck, punching here, to the back of my ear, How to put this in training? And this is now a tricky part. All of these motions need to be done slow. We cannot go in full speed and start hitting our training partners to the throat or punch them to the eye or something like that, because, well, you don't have any training partners left because the injuries will be very, very bad. And then it's like the exercise we were doing here. So I'm doing something like this to her, and now she is looking to get to my throat or my eyes or whatever place, and now just doing this, and now make a small punch. Thinking of this, that okay, the punch is going through. And now she continues. The next phase might be to my nose. Just hammering here. And now as she has the hand here, just shoot elbow forward and give your hand going like this. And yeah, you can start to feel this. And there might be a little bit bleeding and stuff like that. The only way you're going to learn is that person will do this in full speed. Well, then if your training partner is saying this, just be sure that you will be the first one to do that in full speed. I hope you get the point. Where do we cause real injury and where do we cause more like pain? And then when your life is on the line, you go for the injury. And then when you incorporate it into the training, remember it needs to be slow, not just punching through the air, because it is not taking anybody out. All right, guys, thank you for the excellent question. Keep them coming. And now the easy part, just hit like, hit subscribe, and be back with us.